My boyfriend was cheating with his fake heiress sister, and I caught them. I slapped him right then and there and broke up with him. Later, he regretted it. With bloodshot eyes, he demanded to know why I had chosen his half-brother, Ethan. While I was utterly bewildered, Ethan gradually seduced me into his bed, asking if I could make things official with him. A while ago, my boyfriend Elias's family recognized their real heiress. Tonight, at his birthday celebration, the identity of the real heiress, Sarah, would be publicly announced. After arriving at his mansion, I looked around while searching for Elias. This wasn't a mansion, it was clearly a grand estate. At the end of the hall was a home theater room. I had no choice but to retrace my steps. Ouch! I bumped into Ethan around the corner and stepped on his foot. Although he was Elias's arch-rival, I didn't dislike him. On the contrary, I felt more guilt. Because besides being Elias's half-brother, he was also my first love. I quickly stepped back. Sorry. Watch where you're going, he said, suddenly raising an eyebrow and tilting his head. Are you lost? Where's Elias? Mind your own business, I said, walking around him and continuing on my way. You stepped on my shoe and got it dirty, and you're just going to leave? Ethan persistently followed me. How much? I'll pay for it. I didn't want to waste time arguing with Ethan. I've noticed you're very particular, he commented. Just then, I stopped in front of a room with the door ajar. Strange noises were coming from inside. Through the crack in the door, by the light from outside the window, I made out two entwined figures. My boyfriend Elias was pinning his fake heiress sister, Lily, against the window. But, Elias, what about Olivia? She wasn't pampered like you since childhood. I can't even imagine the hard life you'd have if you went back to your adoptive parents. Don't you want to be with me? I do. Elias was kissing Lily forcefully, his and already reaching up her skirt. I froze. The sight before me made me sick to my stomach. Suddenly, my vision went dark, and a chilling voice whispered in my ear, "Don't look, you'll only stain your eyes." I pulled Ethan's wrist down, rushed forward, pulled Elias away, and slapped him hard. "Elias, you pervert!" Lily cried out, frantically adjusting her formal dress. Elias froze in shock, staring at me wide-eyed. "You scumbag." As soon as I turned, he grabbed my wrist. "Don't tell anyone. You can't ruin my sister's reputation." Even at a time like this, all he cared about was his sister. So, that's how worthless I was to him. A wave of anger welled up in my chest. "Which sister are you talking about? Let go. Olivia, listen to me." "Elias, how dare you?" Ethan stepped forward, his hands in his pockets, his eyes full of contempt. Lily hid behind Elias. "Elias, I'm scared." "Ethan? What business is it of yours? Get out." Ethan sneered, then his gaze fell on me. "I came with her. If she leaves, I leave." Elias stared at me in disbelief. "Olivia. You too? Let's break up." It was the first time I'd ever said those words to Elias. Before, he was tall, handsome, and so generous, I definitely couldn't bear to break up with him. But this time, it was truly disgusting. "What did you say?" Seeing his grip on my hand loosen, I quickly pulled away and ran out. Even though Lily was a fake heiress, her 18 years of family bond with Elias ensured their relationship wouldn't fade. But I never imagined that bond would evolve into this. I wiped my tears as I passed the ballroom. Sarah had just finished her speech, and the room erupted in thunderous applause. My vision blurred, and I couldn't make out her face anymore. I hoped she would be able to find her place and build a stable life at the Vance estate. "Where are you going?" Ethan asked, following me. "Back to the dorm. I'll take you." "Ethan, I'm not in the mood for your games right now. When have I ever played games with you? Wait here for me. I'll have the driver bring the car around." I ignored him and kept walking on my own. Ethan made a call, following me like a shadow. Streetlights stretched the shadows long behind me. Unlike the bustle inside the mansion, it was terribly quiet out here. Rustling sounds occasionally came from the bushes. I couldn't help but turn back, meeting Ethan's intense gaze. He used to look at me that way before we broke up. I whipped my head back around, unwilling to think further. By the time the driver arrived, we had already walked out of the mansion complex. Ethan ushered me into his car and got into the driver's seat. Thinking of the scene I'd witnessed at the Vance estate, my current boyfriend cheating on me right in front of my ex, I couldn't hold back my emotions anymore. I started to sob. Ethan silently handed me a packet of tissues. Outside the car, there was a fierce wind and driving rain. Perhaps the atmosphere was too strange. He turned on the car stereo. "The night you said you'd leave, the endless rain, just like this day. With a wail, I cried even louder. Ethan immediately changed the song. What a coincidence, I really didn't mean it. Should I put on happy instead? Blowing my nose, I choked out, just leave me alone. Truthfully, I didn't love Elias all that much. It was simply the surroundings making me sentimental. The day I broke up with Ethan was also rainy. And now, he was right beside me, as an ex-boyfriend. Olivia, when you dumped me back then, did you cry like this too? I whimpered, no. I dared not look at him, because I had lied to him. On the day I broke up with him, I cried even harder than I was now. Oh, really? He paused. Then I don't need to feel too guilty. What do you mean? He stared straight ahead, with a faint, unreadable smile. I met Sarah by chance at the university. I always felt her features really resembled my estranged father, so I found a paternity test agency and anonymously sent the results to the Vance estate. If hadn't been a fake heiress, perhaps Elias wouldn't have done such an outrageous thing. It's not your fault. Our breakup was bound to happen eventually. He smiled. You got tired of him so quickly? Yeah. His lips curved upward. I knew it. After all, you had the real deal before him, and we did date for 2 years. Just focus on driving. All right. In the rearview mirror, Ethan was lightly tapping his head to the music, looking like he was gloating. I forced myself not to dwell on the past. No matter what, the harm I'd inflicted on Ethan back then was set in stone. Even if the nail was pulled out, a hole would remain. Perhaps cheated on me, and it was my deserved retribution. My screen kept lighting up. Elias wouldn't stop texting and calling me, so I had to switch to airplane mode. I never imagined my relationship with Elias would end this way. Over the past few months, Elias had introduced me to many things I hadn't experienced before. I kept a separate spreadsheet for the large bank transfers he gave me, saving them into a bank account. To be worthy of him, I worked hard to get a scholarship, learned makeup, and developed my fashion sense. I primed myself tirelessly, afraid of embarrassing him. The first time I went to Elias's home was for Lily's 18th birthday celebration. Elias called me. Olivia, I've already prepared a gift for you, so don't bother with a gift yourself. But I've already picked out a gift. Lily has been spoiled since childhood, she's very picky. I'm afraid it would be a waste. I understand. I knew he was trying to save me embarrassment. I requested a refund for the 4-figure gift I had saved up for and bought from the official website. It wasn't until I arrived at Elias's home that I realized the gap between us was much larger than I'd imagined. In the vast ballroom, Lily was the center of attention, surrounded by her friends. She suddenly raised her voice, laughable. I don't know how my brother even ended up with her. It's just that her makeup is decent. A guy chimed in, exactly. Maybe she's good in bed. I've seen plenty of girls like her. The crowd then burst into laughter. Just as I was about to step forward, Elias suddenly stood in front of me. Olivia, when did you arrive? You look beautiful today. You came at just the right time. I pulled Elias over to Lily. Were you gossiping about me just now? Lily quickly glanced at the reactions of others, then timidly looked at me. No, Olivia, have you misunderstood something? Someone sarcastically remarked, such nerve, as expected of Elias's girlfriend, daring to openly question his sister like that. That infuriated me. You were clearly talking about me first. You dared to do it but not admit it, huh? Elias, I really didn't, Lily said, looking at Elias with a wronged expression, tears seemingly ready to fall at any moment. Elias pulled me aside. Olivia, they're just a bit unruly, they didn't mean any harm. It's Lily's birthday today, let's not make a spectacle of ourselves. Are you saying I'm a joke? Elias clicked his tongue. That's not what I meant. I didn't reply, beginning to assess my position in this man's heart. I had clearly overestimated myself. I needed to find a reason to break up with him. After all, Elias's family was powerful and influential, and he had a clique at the university. I couldn't afford to offend him. The host announced the official start of the celebration. Lily, with her hands clasped behind her back, walked up to Elias, smiling. Elias, will you dance the first dance with me? Elias, with a doting expression, took her hand. Of course. He glanced back at me. Olivia, please make yourself at home. Elias led Lily toward the center of the ballroom, the two of them looking like a perfect pair. Back then, Lily wasn't yet known as the fake heiress. I hear you're Elias's girlfriend now? Ethan, in a perfectly tailored suit, possessed a noble aura that was impossible to IG. Know her. What are you doing here? I was shocked but quickly regained my composure, forcing a smile to appear more composed and graceful. I'm his half-brother. He extended a hand toward me. Dance with me? Sorry, I don't know how to dance. It's simple. Shall I teach you? Ethan, stay away from her. Elias stomped over angrily. He seethed. Who invited you here? Father, of course. I wouldn't be here if I weren't bored. Ethan raised an eyebrow, calmly looking at me. But I just discovered something interesting. I'm warning you, don't get any ideas about her, Elias said. He seemed to truly dislike Ethan. Ethan let out a cold laugh. Just then, a staff member approached. Ethan, the madam would like to see you. Ethan's smile faded, and his brow furrowed slightly. Excuse me for a moment. Ignore him, Elias said, taking my hand. I'll teach you to dance. I learned from Elias that Ethan's parents had an arranged marriage and later divorced, separating their assets. But I knew he was lying. Ethan's parents fell in love naturally. Otherwise, Ms. Eleanor wouldn't have transferred Ethan's school registration back to our small town after the divorce, nor would I have had the chance to meet Ethan. The family used her divorce to promote her image of an independent woman and rise in status. They're not simple people. Stay away from Ethan. He's always tried to compete with me for everything since we were kids. It's so annoying. I obediently nodded, pretending I didn't know he was the illegitimate child. I couldn't let him know that Ethan was my ex-boyfriend. I didn't want any trouble. After the college entrance exam, I dumped Ethan and blocked all his contact information. What's more, he attended a nearby university, just like Sarah. How could I possibly cross paths with him again? Later, I started frequently encountering Ethan at the university. He always seemed intent on ruining my dates with Elias. On the campus paths. Elias frowned. What are you doing at RU? University? Ethan smiled slightly. I'm here for a debate competition. Olivia, want to come watch? She's busy. Elias immediately pulled me away. At the campus cafe. Hello, mind if I share a table? Ethan sat down beside me without asking. Elias stood up. Let's sit over there. There are clearly other seats. In the lecture hall. Ethan, why are you always lurking around? Don't you have your own classes? Elias was extremely displeased with Ethan, who had just sat down behind us. Ethan said casually, skipping a class or two isn't so bad sometimes. Throughout the class, whenever Elias leaned close to me, Ethan's chair would loudly squeak from being kicked. After several times, Elias turned around, gritted his teeth, and hissed, Ethan, are you doing this on purpose, you jerk? Buddy, my apologies, my legs are just too long. As soon as class ended, Elias pulled me and ran off. That guy always gives me trouble. He's my arch-rival, and now that you're my girlfriend, it's the same for you, got it? I said, still obediently playing along. For a generous, possessive but charming type of boyfriend who cared about his girlfriend, it wasn't impossible to tolerate him. Even though whenever Elias was with me, the first person he thought of was always his sister Lily. Gotta go. My sister is bugging me to help her level up, in a game. Can you act cute with me like my sister does? My sister wouldn't eat this kind of stuff, she'd get a stomachache. Even on dates, he would suddenly cut them short, saying his sister had something come up and he needed to pick her up. A week ago. Olivia, you can get out and take a cab back. I need to go to the university to pick up my sister. But I have period cramps right now. Can't you just drop me off at the dorm first? My sister's situation is urgent. I've never seen you get so overly dramatic before. It's not a big deal, just bear with it. I had no choice but to hold my stomach and sit on a bench on the sidewalk for a while. Olivia, what's wrong? Your face is pale and your lips are white. I weakly said, Ethan, you're not tracking us, are you? He smiled. This time it really is a coincidence. I'll take you to the hospital. No thanks, I have period cramps. I'll feel better in a bit and go back. Then wait for me. A few minutes later, Ethan returned with a bag of things. Put this on your stomach, and take this medicine first. He unscrewed the cap and handed me the water. Thank you. I'll drive you back to the dorm. Later, I learned that the Vance estate had discovered Lily was a fake heiress that day. We're here, Olivia? Outside the car, the rain had stopped. Ethan looked at me, his lips curving upward. If you don't want to go back to the dorm, I can take you somewhere else. Where? Anywhere you want to go. He looked at me again with that intense gaze from before. No, I think I'll just go back to the dorm. Why are you panicking? He suddenly grabbed my wrist. Stop looking at me. Do you think my smudged makeup looks ridiculous? It's not like I haven't seen you barefaced before. Besides, I think you look beautiful all the time. He stared intently at me. The best way to move on from a relationship is to start a new one. I don't mind being your stepping stone. Shall we start over? He didn't resent me? Back then, to dump him, I had said many harsh things. Even more coincidentally, Elias was his father's illegitimate child. Are you trying to get revenge on me or Elias now? I'm serious. I admit I resented you at first, but then I thought about it carefully, and it was true that I wasn't good enough. As for Elias, I never took him seriously. His serious expression almost made me want to give in. Don't joke around. Anyway, thank you for today. I pulled my hand free, opened the door, and got out. Just then, I bumped into Elias, who was standing at the dorm door. Elias frowned. When did you two start? It was literally the guilty party accusing first. Don't pin your mess on me. Weren't you and your dear sister the ones who started it? He leaned closer, whispering, I'll explain later. First, tell me what's going on between you and Ethan? I laughed. In your heart, Lily is first, and Ethan is second, right? Elias started to say something else, then suddenly looked behind me. A dark shadow loomed over us. I just came to remind you two that you broke up about half an hour ago. Ethan stood beside me. I just confessed my feelings to you. You're not going to forgive him so quickly, are you? Of course not. The words were barely out of my mouth when Elias swiftly grabbed Ethan's collar, snarling, Ethan, what did you say? Confession? What confession? Ethan's expression turned cold. I said, I just confessed. Unlike you, who was already kissing your sister. You. Elias's eyes blazed with fury. I'm warning you, this is between Olivia and me. Don't even think about trying to swoop in. Ethan scoffed. You don't get to decide that. All right. This is the university, I said, stepping forward and grabbing Elias's arm. Let go of him quickly. People are watching. Elias glanced around, then released his grip. Fine. I'll pretend I didn't hear anything about breaking up today. Huh? Before I could retort, he turned and got into his car. He was always like this, so stubborn. Ethan adjusted his collar and smiled at me. See you tomorrow. As I watched him get into the car, I felt a mix of emotions. What exactly was Ethan thinking? The next morning at 8, I overslept, and there were few empty seats left in the classroom. I had no choice but to sit with my roommate Chloe in the empty seats in front of Elias. Elias, aren't you going to smooth things over with your girlfriend? Smooth what over? We're always fine by the next day. We don't hold a grudge. Exactly. Ethan is no match for you. Don't mention him in front of me. What a jerk. I heard Elias and his cronies gossiping behind me. Just then, Chloe Leah Ned in and whispered to me, did you and Elias really break up? Yeah. Last night, the campus heartthrob Ethan visit and walked you to our dorm building. Are you planning on letting him become your next boyfriend? I gave an awkward laugh. No way, don't talk nonsense. Chloe's gossipy smile faded. Ugh, I'd better focus on studying. Staring at the blackboard in front of me, I found myself involuntarily falling into a flood of memories. 5 years ago, a handsome figure passed by my side. At the turn of the staircase, the boy's crisp jawline and brow bone were sculpted and captivating, making it impossible to look away. I exclaimed, you're the new transfer student in our class, Ethan? Yes, and you are? We're classmates. My name is Olivia. Hello. What a coincidence, you live here too. I heard you transferred from the city? Why would you come to a small place like ours for school? Ethan remained expressionless. I'd rather not say. Oh. I was so awkward, I could only hurry home faster. Unlike now, Ethan back then was aloof and solitary, always keeping his distance from classmates. Ethan rode his bicycle to and from school every day. He wouldn't even greet me when we met. Later, I deliberately started showing up late for school. One morning, I tugged on the corner of Ethan's shirt. Can I hitch a ride? He looked down at his watch. There's still time, you can walk. His Margaret passed by and scolded him, you two are in the same class. What's wrong with giving her a ride? Are you telling me you haven't made any friends at school acting like this? Grandma, actually, he doesn't have a single person to talk to in class. I was the one who shamelessly initiated conversation with him. Ethan's grandma patted my head. R is so sweet. These past few days, when I've got out for groceries, I often see you running downstairs, panting with your school bag. You must be exhausted, right? How about this? From now on, let our Ethan take you. It's on high. Way anyway. Ethan frowned. Grandma, can you please stop meddling? Grandma said earnestly, how can this be called meddling? You're classmates and neighbors, you should learn to help each other. I nodded vigorously. Ethan sighed reluctantly. Get on. In our second year of high school, I asked Ethan to be my boyfriend, and he agreed. We promised to attend the same university together, and he would help me study. The day I received my acceptance letter, Ethan asked me to meet him at the neighborhood park. Coincidentally, it was raining. Olivia, didn't we agree to apply to State University together? Why did you change to City College? Ethan's brow furrowed in confusion. State University and City College are pretty similar. Let's break up. What did you say? I was unusually calm. Honestly, I just used you. I never really had feelings for you. I just wanted to use someone for advantage, follow your lead to study hard, and get into a good university. He froze for a moment but quickly regained his smile. You're just joking with me again, right? I'm not joking. Let's break up. Let's part ways now, thank you. The moment I turned to leave, he grabbed my wrist tightly. What's wrong with you? We were so close before. Before coming to see him, I had prepared myself not to cry. I sighed. To tell you the truth, at first, when I heard you were from a big city, it felt kind of novel. But then I heard you were an illegitimate child. I'm not an illegitimate child. He interrupted me immediately, his eyes filled with anxiety. I paused. You're a child from a less privileged background, aren't you? After spending all this time with you, I feel like the stereotypical views about children from single-parent households might actually have some truth to them. Anyway, I'm just tired of it now. His long eyelashes trembled violently twice. Do you really think that? I pulled my hand away. Stop bothering me. I'm tired, that's it. He stared at me fixedly, his striking features instantly dimming. I need to go home for dinner, bye. Barely breathing, I ran straight into the pouring rain. Ding-a-ling, the bell for the end of the first class rang. I opened my phone and found a friend request from Ethan. After a moment of hesitation, I accepted. What time does your afternoon class end? Why? I heard you're going to school nearby. Ms. Eleanor said it's been a while and wants to see you. Want to come to my place for dinner this afternoon? Ms. Eleanor wants to see me? She was the one who came to me and asked me to break up with Ethan. She said Ethan belonged back in his original social class, and the person he should marry was a wealthy heiress, not me, someone born in a small town. That's not just an excuse, is it? Ms. Eleanor is so busy, how would she have time to invite me over? When have I ever lied to you? What time this afternoon should I come pick you up? Indeed, he had never lied to me. On the contrary, I was the one who had always lied to him. Come pick me up at 4:30. I'll be waiting at the east entrance. After dinner, Ethan's grandma pulled my hand over. Olivia, you're going to university nearby. Why haven't you come to see me? I stammered, glancing at Ethan. I know you two dated and then broke up after the college entrance exam, she sighed. When I was alone back in my hometown, I truly appreciated your family's care. I'm very grateful. I apologize to you on Ms. Eleanor's behalf for this matter. She was too eager for quick success. Grandma, I never blamed you. She patted the back of my hand. I need to make this clear today. I've always supported you and Ethan. I've criticized Ms. Eleanor, and she promised me she wouldn't try to use Ethan for an arranged marriage to gain connections again. She's just like I was when I was young, strong and unwilling to give up. After father's affair came out, she silently endured a lot alone. After the divorce, through relentless effort, she finally built her own team and even specifically moved to this area to live, so she could compete with them. Ms. Eleanor, please say a little less, Ethan's mother, Ms. Eleanor, said, her smile stiffening as she pushed a fruit platter toward me. Olivia, have some fruit. Thank you, Ms. Eleanor. Can you and Ethan get back together? It's all my fault, I was wrong. You don't know, Ethan thought you didn't want him anymore, and he was depressed for a long time. Ms. Eleanor, you say a little less too. Ethan picked up a slice of watermelon and popped it into Ms. Eleanor's mouth. His ears turned a deep red. He then picked up a strawberry and offered it to Grandma. People tend to get very busy when they're embarrassed. No, thank you. I still have some. I quickly declined the peeled lychee he offered me. After a while, Grandma and Ms. Eleanor both found excuses to leave, leaving just Ethan and me in the living room. Olivia, can I be your boyfriend again? His apple bobbed slightly, and he looked at me again with that intense gaze. But I just broke up with someone yesterday. Isn't that even better? Elias isn't right for you, he paused. I told you, I'm willing to be your stepping stone. I can wait for you. Whenever you make up your mind, just tell me. What stepping stone? You don't need to say that. I'm willing. To me, you're the best, and you're worth it. I lowered my head, my cheeks flushed, my heart fluttering with uncertainty. Would anyone really be willing to wait forever for someone else to come back? I looked down at my phone, which showed an unknown number had sent me over a dozen unread messages and calls. I saw Ethan pick you up in his car. Are you two on a date? Why aren't you answering your phone or replying to messages? I was wrong. I was just drunk that day. Can we go back to how things were before? I've already booked an upscale restaurant for 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'll pick you up in a suit and a luxury car. When you're speechless, you are. Illy do want to laugh. What are you looking at? Let me see, Ethan said, curiously staring at me. I handed him my phone. His lips curved, and his fingers quickly tapped on the screen. What did you reply? I took my phone back and read, I've already booked the local barbecue joint for 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'll pick up Ethan in flip-flops and an e-scooter. I feigned embarrassment. You. Don't tell me you can't ride an e-scooter. I've seen you driving your roommate around near the university. For 3 years of high school, I've given you so many rides. Isn't it your turn to give me a ride now? Also, I passed by your place and heard your parents talking about buying you a bicycle, but you said no. I clapped a hand over his mouth. Enough, stop talking. I'll pick you up on time tomorrow. He took my wrist, a smile in his eyes. Okay, I'll be waiting. The following afternoon, wearing flops, I set off from the university on my e-scooter. Entering the mansion complex, all the passing vehicles were luxury cars. Even if Ethan dared to get on my e-scooter, I wouldn't dare let him. Ethan, can you please not hold on so tight? Your e-scooter is too small, I don't feel safe. He rested his head on my shoulder, and his hands around my waist tightened. His backpack behind him was bulging. I wondered what was inside. The barbecue joint was located in a nearby beachfront resort. After finishing our barbecue, Ethan and I walked barefoot along the shallow beach. 3 years ago, we had done this too. But after half an hour of strolling, the sky suddenly changed, and it started to rain. Why is it suddenly raining so heavily? Probably a thunderstorm. Let's head to that hotel over there. The storm came without warning, and the beachgoers scattered and fled. Our clothes were soaked, so we got a suite at the hotel to change our clothes. Are you two really together? Elias and Lily suddenly stepped out of the elevator. Why are your thoughts so dirty? Didn't you say you were meeting me at an upscale restaurant? How are you here at a hotel with Lily? I scoffed. A sneer played on his lips. We're just meeting friends. But you've already gotten a room. Watch your words, Elias, Ethan said, grabbing his collar and shoving him. Why should I respect you? Elias gritted his teeth and growled. He suddenly noticed something and reached for Ethan's backpack. What's this? Elias had barely pulled out a piece of black gauze fabric when Ethan quickly pushed it back in. Elias, if you do that again, I'll get serious. Ethan quickly tidied his backpack, took my hand, and headed for the elevator, but Elias blocked us. Wait, he frowned, looking at me. I couldn't even be intimate with you. Why should he get you to wear that kind of thing for him? Ethan shoved him aside, took my hand, and entered the elevator. Before the elevator doors closed, he put one hand in his pocket, tilted his head slightly towards Elias, and said, Who said she was going to wear it? I am. For a moment, I didn't understand what they were talking about. Elias's eyes blazed, and when he was about to step forward again, Lily held him back. What does that mean? Wear what? I asked Ethan. And nothing, he stammered, his gaze darting away as his cheeks flushed slightly. You'll find out later. After changing into my robe, I waited a long time in the living room for Ethan to come out. When he didn't, I went to his room door to ask him, Ethan, are you dressed? Yes, come in. The moment I pushed the door open, I froze. Ethan was kneeling bare-chested on the bed, his eyes covered with black lace. The harness on his chest rose and fell with his breathing, glinting clearly. His ears were so red they looked like they might bleed. Ethan asked in a low, hoarse voice, Do you like it? I swallowed hard. I do. I moved closer to him, my fingertips trembling slightly as I accidentally brushed the bell on his neck. This band. It's the garter you used to wear. You said it was a bit tight and uncomfortable. It fits perfectly on my neck now. Ethan, you like this. I think I'm going to get a nosebleed. He chuckled. Do you want to tie my hands behind my back? I can't reach. I removed the lace blindfold from his eyes, tied his hands behind his back, and asked, When did you get so kinky? Anything for you to enjoy. I can learn. His burning gaze made my face flush hot. I hastily averted my eyes, only to encounter his abs. Want to feel? Boldly, from bottom to top, I traced the hot, uneven contours before me. Your waist is so slender. Your chest is so muscular. He let out a soft sound, trembling with laughter. My fingertips slid all the way to the nape of his neck. Unable to resist the temptation, I pressed my lips against his. Our breaths mingled in a chaotic rhythm. Your hands. They're not tied. You didn't tie them tight enough. The moment our positions reversed, my finger hooked around his chest harness. He pulled my hand to his, intertwining our fingers tightly. A soft gasp escaped my lips. I lost all control. Under the lights, Ethan's chest harness shimmered with a cold gleam, trembling before me. The desire in his eyes wrapped around me like a vine, enveloping and consuming me. Satisfied? Be very satisfied. Does this make us official? Yes. The next day, I rode my e-scooter back to the university. On the way, a luxury car kept following behind me. I twisted the throttle, and he accelerated, keeping pace. I slowed down, and he slowed down too. Once we entered the outskirts, he forced me to stop. Olivia, do you really have to go against me? Why him? Elias stepped out of the car, cursing under his breath. I backed away, but he grabbed my wrist. He lifted me up and shoved me into his car. Elias, we broke up. He didn't reply, just pulled out a cloth from the car. The next second, my mouth and nose were covered by the cloth. The cloying yet sharp, pungent smell of ether instantly flooded my nostrils. I gradually lost consciousness. I don't know how much time passed. When I woke up, I found myself lying in an unfamiliar room. My phone was gone. My ankle was bound by a chain extending from the foot of the bed. Awake so soon? Elias, bare-chested, walked toward me, unbuckling his belt. I recoiled. What do you want? Olivia, I just can't accept this. I never knew you and Ethan were first loves. What did you take me for, his replacement? He suddenly gripped my neck tightly. No, if I had known you were Ethan's brother, I never would have gotten involved with you. Is that so? He glanced at the camera set up nearby. Tell me, if you sleep with me, will Ethan still want you? He leaned down, pressing himself against me. I turned my face away, and he kissed my earlobes and neck like a madman. Elias, let go of me. His eyes red, he asked me, why did you choose Ethan? What do I lack compared to him? Didn't you cheat on me with Lily first? He paused. I don't care, you never let me take things further during the months we were together, so why can Ethan? My limbs were all restrained by Elias, I couldn't push him away. I choked back my revulsion and sank into despair. With a bang, the door burst open. Someone yanked Elias off me. It was Ethan. He landed a punch on Elias, then came over and hugged me. It's all my fault, I shouldn't have let you go back alone. I was wrong. I trembled slightly in his arms. It's not your fault, I insisted on going back alone. It's a good thing you all arrived in time. Several police officers had come with Ethan. They immediately apprehended Elias. Later, Ethan and I went to the police station together to give our statements to the police. I asked Ethan, how did you know I was being held in Elias's other old mansion? It was Sarah. She said she noticed Elias buying ether and other incriminating tools, and his behavior was strange, so she secretly followed him. When she realized Elias had laid hands on you, she immediately informed me and told me Oh, call the police. So it was her, then we really should thank her. The next day at noon, Mrs. Elizabeth arranged to meet me at a nearby coffee shop. I can issue a letter of leniency, but I want 100 million. Mrs. Elizabeth took off her sunglasses. You're asking for an exorbitant amount. I don't have that much money. Then, how about some shares from Vance? Impossible. Mrs. Elizabeth's chest heaved with anger. Ethan smiled. Then there's nothing more for us to discuss, since Elias was the one who committed the offense first. He and I exchanged a look and smiled. Shall we go? All right. Wait, I'll go back and discuss it with my husband. The family ultimately decided to abandon Elias. And so, Elias was sentenced to 3 years in prison and became a disowned heir. The family naturally began to groom Sarah as an heir. As for Lily, according to Sarah, the Vance family still decided to treat her as their own daughter. To compensate for the losses the Vance family incurred because of Elias, they decided to arrange a strategic marriage between Lily and a notorious playboy. Ethan, didn't we agree you'd teach me data analysis? Why are you wearing black sheer fabric? What I wear, what does that have to do with teaching you? Like this, it's hard for me to concentrate. You have a weak will, and that's my fault? You're acting shamelessly. Where are your hands going? You broke the rules first. This is my rightful reward. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.